Cannot stop thinking about last night. That is what I saw when her laptop pinged with a message notification from Callum. My best friend for 2 years. So I opened the message thread and found months of them planning hookups while I was at work. Then I packed all her shit, put it in her car, and drove around for 2 hours trying to process what the hell just happened. But I am getting ahead of myself, because this is completely insane. And I need strangers on the internet to tell me I am not losing my mind. I am Finn 29M. She is Lennox 27F. We have been together 5 years and run a coffee roasting business together in Portland. Started dating when she was working as a barista at a shop downtown. And I was this awkward software guy who came in every morning for the same cortado. She had dreams of starting her own place. I had business sense and some savings. We built something real together, or at least I thought we did. Callum 30M has been our friend for 2 years. Met us at the climbing gym, became part of our regular crew. He is one of those charismatic guys who everyone likes immediately. Freelance marketing consultant. Always had interesting stories about his clients. Good climbing partner. I trusted him completely. We had hang out multiple times a week, climbing sessions, brewery nights, Sunday coffee cupping at our roastery. He was the first person I called when I had good news or needed advice. Today's Sunday. Lennox went to yoga at 2 p.m. like she does every week. I was meal prepping in the kitchen, making overnight oats for the week, cutting vegetables, the usual Sunday routine. Her MacBook was sitting on the kitchen table where she always leaves it. And when a message notification lit up the screen, I glanced over without thinking. The preview showed "Cannot stop thinking about last night" from Callum, and something in my stomach just dropped. My first thought was maybe they went climbing or grabbed drinks, and I forgot. But something felt wrong immediately. I opened messages. The thread between them was extensive. Dozens of messages going back weeks that I had never seen before. I can still feel your hands on me. He is at his brother's Saturday. Come over at 8. You taste like coffee and vanilla. He never notices anything anyway. Cannot wait to feel you inside me again last night. Was perfect. He is working late again. Want to come over. Each message felt like a punch to the chest. I kept scrolling up, finding more and more evidence. Plans made around my schedule, intimate details about their encounters, jokes about how oblivious I was. 3 months of messages, maybe more. I took screenshots with my phone, my hands shaking. Then I watched the messages start deleting in real time. Little poof animations disappearing one by one. She was at yoga but obviously on her phone, had somehow realized someone was reading her laptop, and was frantically trying to cover tracks too late. I had already seen enough to know my entire life was a lie. I sat there for probably 10 minutes, just staring at the empty message thread, trying to process what I had found. 5 years together, 2 years of friendship with Callum, building a business together, planning a future. All while they were meeting up behind my back, laughing about how I never notice anything. The rational part of my brain kicked in. I needed to do something with this information. Sitting here spiraling wouldn't help. I packed every single thing she owns into garbage bags, clothes, toiletries, that stupid succulent collection, her weird art prints, loaded it all into her Honda Civic in our driveway. Then I locked the house and went for a drive to clear my head. Texted her from her laptop. I know everything. Messages deleted too late. Get your shit and leave. Then I messaged Callum from her account. He knows. Callum immediately replied, "What happened? Are you okay?" I didn't respond. Blocked both of them on everything. Phone, Instagram, our business Slack. Just done. She will be home in an hour. I don't know what to do when she walks in. Part of me wants to scream. Part of me wants to hear her try to explain. Part of me just wants to disappear. We own a business together. 50/50ths partners. This is going to be complicated as hell. Did I overreact? Should I have confronted her face to face first? Right now, I am sitting in my empty house wondering how long this has been going on and how fucking blind I have been. Is this normal? Do people really do this shit to each other? Update 1. So Lennox shows up around 6 p.m. in her mom's car. Her mom comes in looking confused, probably thinking I had some kind of breakdown. Then, Lennox starts crying immediately and says, Can we talk like adults about this? Her mom realizes something serious is happening when I mention the text messages. She quietly excuses herself and leaves us to figure it out. At least someone in her family has sense. The conversation was brutal. Lennox tried every angle. We have been growing apart for months. We haven't. You are always working on the business. We both work on the business, Callum, and I just connected emotionally. Yeah. I bet it just happened for 3 months. When I asked how long, she paused for like 30 seconds before saying 3 months. 3 months. We had sleep on my birthday 6 weeks ago. She told me she loved me last Tuesday. I have been living in a complete lie. The conversation got heated when we started talking about the business. She demanded half of everything. Equipment, customer list, social media accounts she built, vendor relationships. I am not walking away with nothing. Finn, half that business is mine. That is when I pulled out our operating agreement and showed her Section 7. The buyout clause we signed when we formalized the partnership 2 years ago. If one partner wants out, they either buy out the other partner's equity at current valuation, or they sell their share back. Our total investment is around $240K over 3 years. She had need to pay me $120K to keep the business, or sell her half back to me for whatever a valuation determines it is worth. Her face went white when she saw the numbers. She had been so focused on the creative side, Instagram posts, latte art, the brand aesthetic, that she never really paid attention to the financial realities. The commercial lease at $4,200 a month. The $85K roasting equipment we are still paying off. The inventory costs, insurance, payroll for our part-time staff. You cannot just kick me out of my own business, she said, but her voice had lost that confident edge. I showed her the signature page where we both signed off on the buyout terms. Her own handwriting agreeing to these exact conditions. You want out. These are the terms we both agreed to. No one's kicking you out. You are choosing to leave. She tried to argue that the business was worth more than our investment because of the brand she had built, the customer loyalty, our social media following. Maybe she was right, but that is what the valuation process is for. Independent assessment of actual market value. I cannot afford $120K, Finn, and you know it. Then you sell your half back to me at valuation. Those are the only 2 options. I told her I had already contacted our lawyer about starting the buyout process. She could lawyer up too if she wanted. The whole conversation felt surreal. Planning the dissolution of our business partnership, while the revelation of her affair was still fresh. She stormed out around 9 p.m., but not before making one last dig. This is exactly why we grew apart. Everything's just a transaction to you. Everything's a transaction? I built a business with someone I loved, put my savings and reputation on the line, worked 70-hour weeks to make her dreams come true. But sure, I am the one treating things like a transaction. She stormed out around 9 p.m. Haven't heard from her since I sent over the formal buyout clause details this morning. I am crashing at my brother's house in Eugene tonight. He is being supportive in his own way, which means telling me I should have seen this coming because she was always kind of flaky. Real helpful. Wyatt cannot sleep. Keep checking my phone for messages that aren't coming. This is surreal. Update 2. This is getting more complicated than I expected. Turns out when your girlfriend cheats with your best friend, it doesn't just destroy 2 relationships, it explodes your entire social circle. First, the business stuff. Lennox hired a lawyer to contest the buyout valuation. She is claiming the business was originally her idea, and I was just technical support, which is hilarious since I handled all the vendor relationships, lease negotiations, equipment purchases, and financials, while she managed social media and creative direction. Her lawyer wants to argue the business is worth more than our investment because of brand value and customer goodwill she created. My lawyer says this is typical. People think Instagram followers equal business value. We will see what an actual valuation says. Meanwhile, we still have to interact for business purposes. Lease discussions, vendor contracts, financial reviews. She alternates between cold professional and tearful I miss what we had. I stay robotic, take notes, record everything. Oregon is one-party consent, checked with lawyer. The friend situation is worse than the business drama, and it is making me realize how naive I was about people in general. Remember Jada from our climbing group? She is a nurse at OSU. Always seemed like the most straightforward person in our friend circle. Initially, she defended Lennox to me. Maybe you guys weren't communicating well? Relationships are complicated. People don't just cheat for no reason. That comment stung because it implied I was somehow responsible for being betrayed. Then last week, she admits she suspected something was going on months ago but didn't want to cause drama in the group. Apparently, she had noticed Lennox and Callum arriving separately to group hangouts, but leaving together, saw them having intense conversations away from the group. Noticed they would both disappear from group texts at the same times. I thought about saying something, she told me, but I didn't want to be the one to blow up everyone's lives over what might have been nothing. Cool. Thanks for having my back. Nothing like finding out multiple people watched you get played and said nothing. Sloan from college is staying completely neutral publicly, which honestly pisses me off more than if she had just picked their side. She works at Nike corporate now, very career-focused, thinks everything can be handled professionally. She texts me privately with sympathy. I am so sorry this happened, and you deserve better, but will not pick sides because she is friends with both of us. I told her, this isn't about picking sides. This is about recognizing when someone you care about got screwed over and offering support. She got defensive and said I was putting her in an impossible position. Maybe I am. But it feels like betrayal when people who claim to care about you choose comfort over loyalty. Toby, who owns our climbing gym, is letting Callum keep his membership. I asked him about it and he just shrugged. I don't get involved in personal stuff, so I am switching gyms. Cannot handle seeing Callum there acting like nothing happened. Actually ran into Callum there last week. He tried to approach me. Hey man, can we talk about this? I just said we are done talking and walked away. He texted me later with some long paragraph about how it just happened. And I never meant to hurt you and Lennox pursued me, but I know that doesn't excuse it. I screenshot the message for records and didn't respond. What is there to say? He was my best friend for 2 years, and he chose to fuck my girlfriend. End of story. The weirdest part is I am grieving 2 relationships simultaneously. Lost my partner and my best friend in the same day. That is messing with my head more than I expected. Started therapy week 3. Therapist keeps suggesting I should hear Callum out for closure. I told her closure looks like punching him right now, so maybe we should explore healthier outlets first. Haven't cried yet, which is starting to worry me. Like something's broken in my emotional processing. I feel angry, then numb, then angry again, but no tears. My brother says that is normal for guys, but I don't know. Lennox has been posting vague Instagram stories. Sometimes you have to choose yourself and references to toxic relationships. Multiple people are forwarding me screenshots. Her follower count dropped about 1,200 people, so I guess people can smell bullshit. The business stuff will take 60-90 days minimum to resolve according to lawyers. I cannot operate a company with this much tension and hatred. We are forced to be in the same room twice a week, and it is killing me. I miss Callum sometimes. Not the guy who betrayed me, but the friendship I thought we had. Late-night climbing sessions, weekend coffee cupping, just having a solid friend who got my humor. Then I remember he never notices anything anyway, and I get furious again. My mom keeps calling with vindication. I knew she wasn't right for you, and all men cheat eventually. You probably would have done it too. Real supportive stuff. I screen most of her calls now. This whole thing has shown me how shallow some friendships really were. People are uncomfortable with the drama, so they are just disappearing. Only my brother and a couple work friends are actually checking in regularly. Anyway, that is the update. Business buyout in progress. Friend group imploded. Emotional processing questionable. Gym membership transferred. Living my best life over here. Final update. The business buyout concluded about a month ago. Lennox couldn't afford to buy me out. Would have needed around $95K she didn't have. So she was forced to sell her 50% stake back to me. Final valuation came in at $48K for her half after debts and equipment loans. She was furious. Thought she would get way more. I had to secure a small business loan to cover the payment, But now I own the company outright. Total time to resolution was 11 weeks of lawyers, paperwork, and awkward business meetings. Honestly, revenue is up 18% since the buyout. Turns out I was carrying more of the operational weight than I realized. I hired a part-time barista to handle social media and customer service, and we got featured in a local Portland food blog as one of the resilient small business owners post-pandemic. I am actually proud of what I built. Looking back, it was always more mine than ours. The Callum and Lennox situation resolved itself in the most predictable way possible. They tried actually dating once everything was out in the open. Lasted about 5 weeks before imploding completely. Mutual friend told me turns out affair chemistry doesn't work in daylight. My response: yeah, shocking. Callum sent me one final text about a month ago. I know I fucked up. I am sorry. Hope someday you can forgive me. I responded once. I don't forgive you, but I am done thinking about it. Lose my number. Then blocked him permanently. Lennox moved to Seattle for a fresh start and completely rebranded her Instagram from couple booziness content to solo adventure stuff. Dating someone new within 3 months, according to social media. I unfollowed everything months ago and stopped caring. The friend group situation sorted itself out naturally. Jada eventually apologized sincerely. I should have told you what I suspected. I was being a coward. I forgave her, but the relationship is different now. Trust is damaged permanently. We are friendly when we see each other, but not close like before. Sloan and I just drifted apart. No dramatic ending. I just stopped initiating hangouts and she never picked up the slack. Turns out neutrality feels a lot like not caring enough to have an opinion. Toby from the gym never acknowledged when I canceled my membership. Made me realize he always valued business over people. My new gym is smaller, but the community actually gives a shit about each other. My brother Wyatt was initially pretty unhelpful, with all his I told you so attitude, but he showed up when it mattered. Helped me move my stuff out of the house I shared with Lennox, and later told me you seem better, not as dead inside. Our relationship actually got stronger through this whole thing. Had to have a hard conversation with my mom around month 4. Told her your bitterness about Dad doesn't help me. I need support, not vindication. She was hurt but backed off with the toxic commentary. We are working on it slowly. The emotional processing took longer than I expected. I was worried something was broken because I couldn't cry for months. Just felt numb or angry. Then month 4, I was watching some random movie and a scene about betrayal just broke me open. Cried for like an hour. My therapist said I was grieving multiple things: the relationship, the friendship, the future I thought I had, and my faith in people I trusted. That breakthrough was what I needed. Started feeling human again. The hardest part wasn't even the romantic betrayal. It was losing Callum as a friend. We had been through so much together. When I got food poisoning last year, he is the one who drove me to urgent care at 2 a.m. When his freelance work dried up for 3 months, I helped him with rent without him even asking. We had this easy friendship where we could give each other shit but also count on each other completely. Or at least I thought we could. I kept finding myself wanting to text him about random stuff. A funny climbing video, some business idea, just normal friend stuff. Then I would remember what he did and feel angry all over again. It is weird grieving someone who is still alive but dead to you. The business recovery was actually the easiest part. Once Lennox was out of the picture, I realized how much creative energy I had been spending managing her moods and insecurities. She was talented at the aesthetic stuff, but she would get paralyzed by decision-making, and I would end up handling the actual operations anyway. Without her constant need for validation and drama, I could focus on what I was good at: building systems, maintaining relationships with vendors, optimizing our processes. Revenue jumped not just because I was working more efficiently, but because customers noticed the difference. The vibe in the shop was calmer, more professional. I hired Maya, a part-time barista, who is actually better at social media than Lennox ever was. She doesn't need constant reassurance or get into weird competitive dynamics with customers. Just does good work and goes home. Revolutionary concept. I am back to climbing 4 times a week at the new gym, considering competing again. Took a solo trip to Smith Rock and realized I actually enjoy my own company. Updated my dating profile with red flags are stop signs, not suggestions. Started dating again around month 5, going slow, keeping boundaries clear. First few dates I was hyper-aware of patterns, love bombing, rushed timelines. Anyone who tries to isolate me from friends or change my routines. One woman made a comment about not liking my brother and I ended it immediately. Learned from experience. The dating thing is interesting. I am more selective now, but also more confident. I know what I bring to the table and what I will not tolerate. Had a few dates where women seemed disappointed. I wasn't some broken guy they could fix. That is fine. I am not looking to be anyone's project. Met someone promising recently. Sarah's a physical therapist, has her own practice, very independent. She asked about my business partner situation on our second date, and I gave her the short version. Her response was, "That sucks, but it sounds like you handled it well." No drama. No trying to psychoanalyze my ex. Just basic human empathy. Refreshing. Had a weird full circle moment last month. Ran into Lennox at New Seasons Market. She was with the new guy, had him carrying all her bags while she checked her phone. I just smiled, grabbed my coffee beans, and left. Friend texted me later, "Think he knows yet?" I replied, "He will figure it out." They always do. The weird part was I felt nothing. Not angry, not satisfied, just neutral. That is when I knew I was actually healed. Business is thriving, life is stable, and I am emotionally available again. Still processing things, but I am not consumed by it anymore. Learned I cannot control betrayal, only my response. Dignity isn't about staying calm or forgiving people who don't deserve it. It is about not letting them steal your peace. Sometimes the best revenge really is just being the one who got away.